Hey, howdy, hey guys. Welcome back to more of my podcast series. Today is a little special one today because we're just got an announcement yesterday about Toy Story 5, and we're just doing a sort of I thought I'd do a little special live stream and get some ideas and thoughts of everyone's thoughts about this upcoming Toy Story film. I'm very surprised. It's so unexpected, and there's a lot to talk about. And I just want to kind of hear everyone's thoughts and what do they think. So, if we look at the news, um, so literally Disney yesterday has just announced it, and it's just like, I just doesn't feel really real to me because it's been like, I don't know why I find it's like a dream, and it's really odd, but I'm in a way kind of curious what this film's going to be about. So there's so many questions I have. But yeah, like as any fan, I know there's a lot of mixed feelings about it because Toy Story 3 ended it perfectly, Toy Story 5 ended it perfectly, but I don't know. It's just again, I'm happy whatever Toy Story content they produce or give. Give me more Toy Story. But again, it's just mind blowing. They're doing a fifth one. I had a feeling they could do a fifth one, but just because we thought Toy Story 3 ended perfectly. We also, guys, I will answer your questions as well, so we'll do a bit of Q&A. But yeah, so Bob Iger, if you're not sure who he is one of the chairmen of Disney. So he stepped aside for a while, and I think it was Bob Chapek was running the company, and Bob Iger basically just came back and just sort of kind of fixing Disney and restructuring it. So they're gonna do like a Frozen 2. So they're gonna do some more Disney sequels. But then this bombshell happened with Toy Story 5, and it's like everyone's tweeting about it. It's just crazy. It feels a bit like Toy Story 4 again. So, because everyone was saying Toy Story 3 ended perfectly, which is true, And this is the thing, this is what we're going to talk about, is basically like how these Toy Story films end up, this makes so much high stake of these movies are so pleasable, and in a way, like, it's scary to us because we love these characters and we hope these films go successful as it can. Obviously with Lightyear, I enjoyed Lightyear, but I think a lot of people had a bit of mixed feelings and it didn't do well with Disney. So yeah. But yeah. But also there was some news about Tim Allen. So this is what he tweeted. It says, Soon we'll see you, Woody. You are a sad, strange little man, and you have my pee. And off we'll go to a number 5, to infinity and beyond. So I think this is a confirmation of Tim Allen is returning to voice as Buzz, which is such a good thing, because that's one thing I was really hoping that would happen, is Tim Allen just reprising his role. One idea I just thought they should do is just focus on Buzz. I know we got Lightyear. I know we got a Lightyear sequel. I think the toy Buzz has been kind of sidelined in the latest installment. I've always saying his role's been getting smaller and smaller each film, and I think it's time to focus on Buzz this one. So I really hope they actually do something really cool and sort of incorporate. But in this tweet, he's also kind of confirmed that he's gonna reunite with Woody. So in a way, that's a confirmation. I think that's a confirmation that we might see Woody and Buzz again. So I don't know, it's exciting thoughts, and it's, again, and I understand everyone's mixed about it, but in my personal opinion, I'm excited. Like, I'm excited what Disney or Pixar was going to do, and let's just see what it goes, because so much to talk about. But yeah, so in this podcast, we're going to sort of discuss any ideas or pretty much anyone's theories or what we could sort of see in this film. But yeah, no, it's just again, my mind is I'm getting a bit deja vu from Toy Story 4, because I swear we had that kind of announcement and then it was going crazy and crazy online. It's funny because seeing all the tweets and stuff, everyone's talking about Toy Story 5, and I've even asked some people around today, like, what do they think, and a lot of people are just sort of like against it, but I can see why, because Toy Story 4 ended it perfectly. But I think, from what I remember, what Tim Allen said in the interviews, because just remember, like, during the marketing of this film, Tim Allen actually did say that if you done three perfectly, and if you done four, uh, you gotta be do number five. So don't misquote me on that, but I swear he sort of said something about he could, once you've done three and four, you can just carry on in the sequels. So I don't know. There's not really been an end game to these films. Obviously, we know this could be again crash grab or just for the money and stuff. But hey, if that's making get me to see Woody and Buzz back in the theaters, then count me in. Um, but I had some ideas what they could do with this film, and I want to just kind of share it. I thought I'd do like a live stream, just sort of get your guys' ideas. We can just sort of, share each other. But yeah, no. Also, one idea I did had, right? So imagine they do a film set between two and three. Now, I know that wouldn't be called Toy Story 5, but I wouldn't even mind seeing a movie between the same kind of timeline when it's back to Andy's room. But again, there's so much way we could sort of speculate where these ideas, like where the sequel takes place. We could either go back to the timeline, let's like see, like, for example, Star Wars, where Solo or Rogue One, we all know what happened to Vader and the Skywalkers, but it's basically get to tell those kind of chapters before that. I would love to sort of go back to the nostalgia days of, Andy's room again, and sort of see Buzz and Woody, seeing, just going back to that where we grew up with Toy Story. And I've loved 3 and 4, but when I've watched 1 and 2, it just feels completely different, just sort of tone. It feels more nostalgia and happier. It's obviously because it was made during the 90s and early 2000, but I would love to sort of see an adventure film between 2 and 3, or even 1 and 2, just have an adventure with Buzz and Woody himself. But I think in Toy Story 5, this is what I think they should do, is I want the story to focus on Buzz, but have him feeling out of place without Woody, because I think they should do a thing where Buzz is sort of feeling like he's lost as himself, because obviously fourth one was by his inner voice and Woody was always kind of guiding him, but maybe it's a hard job kind of managing the toys, stepping in Woody's shoes. Maybe, but this is Buzz's sort of getting to that sort of leader role, but Woody was done so well, and I think it would be quite cool to sort of see in another adventure just Woody and Buzz themselves. So it's sort of like Toy Story 1. I think that would be really cool. Like, it's sort of like not a remake to Toy Story 1, but again, a brand new adventure, just Buzz and Woody. And don't get me wrong, I love the other characters, but especially Rex and all the Andy's toys or the Bonnie's toys. But I think this movie should maybe just be about Woody and Buzz, and just have them together in this adventure, and really just sort of go full circle. I think, especially with 3, like 4, I think a lot of people were just it was very emotional, the ending with 4, where you gotta sort of say goodbye to all the toys, and not all the toys, when Woody and Buzz departure, and just sort of like said basically a closing chapter between Woody and Buzz. But and it's hard because when you watch the other films, you kind of think they're no longer going to be together, and I think it's sort of nice because we get to find them have they can just reunite. And another way they could end this film is definitely go back to Andy's. Now, I think that would definitely be a full circle ending. They definitely should basically do somehow maybe Andy's kids sort of being in the role, or they end up going to Andy's old house and basically reuniting with Andy. And I think that will be the perfect ending, and you can sort of have this sort of circle of toy life, or you want from there for A to B. But I think that would be just such a magical ending, and such a nostalgia way as well, because you get to see Andy's old room again, and you get to sort of see Andy's growing up with kids, and it's like you're kind of back to the Toy Story, the good days, like the old good days. And I think and everyone should be reunited. There should really be this, I think that would be a perfect ending for this. I don't know if that's going to add that emotional stake compared to 3 and 4, but I feel like that will give us a more happier ending. Because you get to sort of feel like, oh wow, the toys are back together. We're back to Andy, and like I swear, I think Andy would be about in his 30s or 40s by now. So it does make sense if he has some kids, or, but yeah, I hope they don't go to this. I think they should let Bonnie grow up. There's a couple ideas where, they're thinking of maybe they should do where the toys are not getting played with these days with technology, and everyone's on their phones and playing, on their tablets, and then especially kids, because they're like kind of not playing with toys, and how do they feel? So there's a lot of that could come towards the role. But yeah, so if anyone got some Q&As, we'll definitely I'll definitely read through some. Oh god. But yeah, I'm just still mind blown. I have a really good feeling about this one. And yeah, like we get to another good thing with every Toy Story film, we get to have some merch, and some more toys like coming soon. Like that'd be awesome. I hope they make the toys properly this time, like make them quite accurate, like in the Thinkway versions. Like they did in the 2010s. I think they should definitely go back to making it quite like. I don't like how the recent toy companies have made some of these new toys. They're very kind of cheap and plastic, and like highly painted. I really wish they kind of improved the toy quality in this, because and we need a video game. Like there's so much stuff they can market towards this film. Like we didn't even get a Toy Story 4 video game. I think that would be really cool to actually have. But yeah. So who's in the chat? Andrea. He says OMG. Yep. Toy Story. We also got Baraka Play on the chat. Nice. But yeah. Also, I think, what kind of characters do you think should return? Like, oh, someone says Mr. and Mrs. Potato should return. Who do you think Mr. Potato and Mr. should return? I think bring all back, like all the regular Andy's toys, like Rex, Slinky, Ham, Potato Heads. But just again a similar kind of like pacing with Toy Story 1. Again, to have the adventure with just Woody and Buzz this time. Obviously, I love seeing the gang again. They should have some good screen time, but I would just really want to see if the movie kind of focused on Woody and Buzz, kind of similar to 4, because I think 4 didn't have a lot of screen time with Buzz. I really like Toy Story 2. I think I love the screen time between each characters, especially like, everyone's got their fair screen time. Same with 3. But I think it would be cool to sort of do this adventure of seeing Woody and Buzz. I can definitely see Lightyear characters coming into this mix. I do want to Lightyear 2. So that was one thing I was really looking for. I hope they was announcing Lightyear 2, because I think they can do so much more in this open world of the sequel. Obviously with Lightyear 1, there's so much stuff I want to. There's so many questions I have about Zerg, or you know, where the gamma sector fought. Like they kept it open, and it's weird because Pixar film don't usually do that. They never really tease a sequel. They kind of do one storylines and they end the film in one of the films. But and then obviously I don't even know why Disney has announced this. It's so out of the blue, but I'm just over the moon because it's like over the infinity. Because it again, to get to see Woody and Buzz again just brings my childhood and it makes me happy, and seeing them again in the film, I understand the mixed feelings between it, but hey, I'm gonna buy my popcorn and watch the movie like everyone else. But yeah, I think they could maybe do a cameo with Socks. Would be quite cool. Yeah, so let's actually go search to see these characters. I mean, this will be quite fun. Um, yeah, so if we list all of these characters, um, yeah, I think Socks would be like. So what we got here? So we got pretty much Woody, Buzz, Rex, Ham, Slinky Dog, Bo Peep, Lenny, Rocky. There's so many characters in the Toy Story world. Um, wow. I would. It'll be crazy if they bring Stinky Pete back and just has his revenge. I always had like this kind of funny plot idea where Stinky Pete teams up with Lotso and Zurg, and they're like it's just like a free villain thing, but I think that's a bit silly. But I wouldn't mind seeing the Prospector. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing Zurg, even though just anywhere. But I think they'll definitely do a cameo with Socks. I think they should establish some Lightyear characters. But yeah, Ken is an interesting one actually, because I think Ken's not been since Toy Story, since the special short, the Hawaiian special. We also got Bullseye. Bullseye is obviously Bullseye's in the regular Toy Story gang. I'm kind of curious what happened to Wheezy, because obviously Wheezy I think he'd been in Yard Sale. So again, I don't think they're gonna have a lot of returning characters, but they're likely going to make new characters to just sell more merch. But it's but yeah, I would love to see some. I would love to like in Toy Story 4, we get to see RC like in that split opening scene. That was so cool. Having some the old familiar Andy's old toys coming back, even if it's just for a cameo. Maybe a diluted. Oh my god, Tilted Belt Buzz, Tall Guy Barbie. We got Ken and Barbie. I think Lotso will probably be the only character. I don't think it's gonna. I kind of like how his ending went. It's just like he was a bad villain and he gets what he deserved. I can see he can get for. I can see where he comes back for his revenge, but I think I'd rather have the Prospector, because it's been quite a lot of years. I don't know what. Maybe Prospector has become a good guy. He like get his face paint. Because he's been hanging out with Barbie and he's got like a new complete role. But yeah, I don't really. I hope it doesn't focus a lot on Forky. I don't think you're right, I like Forky, but again, I just want the adventure to be about Woody and Buzz. I can just imagine like they should definitely do a Toy Story World video game. Just sort of bringing back everyone. Like they should, similar to like Lego Star Wars, like an open world Toy Story game. So you got 1, 2, 3, and 4, but like like real engine, like a brand new graphics, like a remastered Toy Story 2, but like just all the movies. I think that would be really cool. Similar how we almost got with 3. Because I'm so surprised. Like I think they haven't done a lot of Disney games, well, a lot for recent years, and I was so looking forward. I thought they were going to Toy Story 4 the game. We did literally done every single Toy Story game, but 4 is like the only missing one. So fingers crossed. I just hope they get some lot of like games or some really cool merch. Um. Okay. Yeah. Let's ask some questions. When is live action Toy Story 2 coming out? So I get this question a lot, but I posted a thing about it's gonna basically hopefully be released end of this fall in roughly around the end of this year, around fall 2023. We're pretty much almost there with filming. We're hoping to get everything done by the summer. So yeah, so just mark your calendars for 2023. Hopefully, I want to share another clip. I know you guys want me to show you another clip, but I kind of want to like wait. I want to show the trailer. I'm excited to put in the trailer. I can't finish the trailer yet until there's a couple of scenes in the trailer I need to film. There's a bit of pickup shots we need to do in the summer, but we're on the just a bit of an update. We're on the airport. We got a lot of stuff, a lot of the filming done recently. But there's just a couple of pickup shots we need to do in the summer, and then hopefully we're going to be editing all that during the summer break and then release it in the fall. We also we're gonna obviously have to check with Disney as well with the copyright issue. So there's quite a lot of stuff to do about it, but I wouldn't mind if there's loads of clips I wanted to show, but I want to wait for the trailer. So hopefully, I think you guys are gonna be happy. So yeah, Toy Story 2 live action is going really well. If you want to check any updates, you can. At the moment, our Facebook page is down. We had to create a new one. We've been trying to get it back running because basically one of the posts, we basically quoted one of the lines and Facebook wasn't happy with it. So they took the entire Facebook page down, which really upset us. And now we're hoping to sort of relaunch a new page. But you can check out the Bodo Instagram for any, like, we've always posted daily, so basically any behind the scenes photos I always post something. But yeah, we're doing the airport scenes at the moment, and I'm absolutely amazed what we've done, and I can't wait to you guys see it. So yeah, Toy Story 2 live is going really well, and I'm so excited as well. But yeah, do you think they'll bring back Combat Cow in Toy Story 5? Yeah, well, I don't see why not, because Combat Cow's been quite I wouldn't say he's not a popular character, but he's been quite like these kind of original Toy Story character. I wouldn't mind seeing Combat Cow really. Even there's just like they brought him back in Toy Story 4 because he was I think he was in Toy Story 1 and then sort of introduced in Toy Story Terror. Another question I had is, who do you think is going to direct this film? So like, because obviously we know John Lasseter's no longer part of Pixar, and I'm curious who's going to end up being a director. I wouldn't mind Lee Unkrich to direct it, like the same director Toy Story 3. I think he would do an amazing job. Or Pete Docter, but I know he's from the chat. I think he's like the CEO now. Oh, thanks, Swag Mario 64. I really appreciate that. Thank you. But yeah, no, honestly, thank you. Yeah, I'm curious who's going to direct this film. But yeah, like, I just like, there's so many. I don't know. There could be a new director. I don't think it's going to be Angus MacLane. I was happy with Angus MacLane, what he did with Toy Story, with Lightyear. I honestly still think he did a good job. And Lightyear, it just looks. I'm a bit disappointed because I think Lightyear should have got nominated in the Academy Awards, like just as best animation. It looks so good. It blew me away. Like, I'm just so surprised. I know it underperformed, but I really thought they could really do. Um, I think Light should really be in as like nominated, but yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe Angus MacLean. But I hope if they are, maybe they have announced Lightyear 2. We don't even know what Pixar had under their sleeves these days. Uh, but yeah, I wouldn't even mind like even seeing a Toy Story series, and with the Toy Story series, they again they could like set it between 2 and 3, and sort of because I don't know if you remember, guys. Like, do you ever had these old kind of Toy Story comic books, or like like these comic books had like these sort of, or those Disney magazines you might have when you as a kid, and all these like it had like little stories and chapters, and I always kind of thought, I thought when Toy Story 3 was just before Toy Story 3, and when we had Buzz Lightyear Star Command, I love like the opening series of that, and we get to see a bit of the Toy Story world again and little snippets. But I think they can do so much. There's like a 10-year gap between 2 and 3, so there's so much you can definitely do a lot, like a prequel to Toy Story or something like that. But again, Disney, like, this is the thing I think Disney Plus should do is like a series or Toy Story series. Like I think they're doing the Cars and Monster Inc. So, and especially now, it's a lot easier to do it now because I understand with computer animation it'll take time, but technology is getting advanced and things are getting easier. So hopefully there'll be a lot more content, a lot more animators. But yeah, um, yeah, no. It Another thing that amazed me though is with Toy Story, the logo of Toy Story. When you just said the second was my favorite, I was just thinking like the tile's almost like Toy Story 2, because if you actually look at the logo of Toy Story 5, so let's just bring it up. It kind of looks like a 2 upside down. I'll just put Toy Story 2. Oh my god. Um, yeah, like if you look at the logo, for example, I don't know if you can sort of see it. It just kind of to me that looks like a 2. So it's all this kind of reminds me of Toy Story 2, the logo, like a flip version of a 2 and 5. I know 2 and 5 are similar. I don't know. I just kind of that just gives me some nostalgic effect. And I definitely when I go see the packaging when I'm ever going to like toy hunting, I can definitely see like I'm gonna get so confused these days. What like I hope they have the space theme or the clouds again in the packaging. I don't like this plain. I had to do a video about it because I wanted Mattel to sort of have like this sort of really cool outstanding packaging when they haven't selling the toys, and let's just fingers crossed to give us really cool toys, because maybe like look, I'm shocked to I'm really shocked these days because there's so much great mods, especially like replicas of all these amazing talented people making these like sculpts and accurate face, like they're making the accurate movie toys we always wanted as a kid. And I hope Pixar or Mattel just take notes, like look at what people create, and I swear they'll get loads of people buying these stuff. I understand it takes a lot of money to make and it's going to be hard to manufacture, but yeah, like just having people just selling, like I would love to have like an accurate toy line, like the collection series, like reprised, like with the better face sculpts. But yeah, when do you think Toy Story 5 will come out? Um, I don't know. You know what? It'd be cool if Toy Story 5 would come out in 2025. I know that's a long stretch, 'cause I know it's gonna take a long time. I don't even know when this been in development. Like they could have done this 5 years ago and not told us, so they might have already done the boot. I have so many questions, so it's again without getting the synopsis, and we don't know so much about the information yet, but it'll be the 30th anniversary of Toy Story 1. That'll be a sick release date, but um I would love to be in 2025 because you got the 30th anniversary of Toy Story, and but I think again a lot of people saying likely 2026 could be, but um we'll have to see because that it depends what stage on when they're making this movie, because it all depends, like if they already filmed, they already animated it, or are done the story draft, or they still need to do the story. So again, it takes 5, 6, 7, even 10 years to make these Pixar films. But the thing is, between like even though, while saying that, Toy Story 1 and 2 had like a very, like I believe it was like 5 years. They had like roughly like 3 years time difference between making each film, because Toy Story 2 was meant to be a Christmas special originally, but yeah, no, I think it's interesting because I don't know where could this movie sort of like fit in, because they also got other Pixar films slated. I think Inside Out 2 and stuff. Um, but yeah, no, there's just so many different. Um, I wouldn't. I don't know. I wouldn't mind having another sequel. To God, what I was gonna say now. Oh yeah, Bugs Life 2. Like, I wish they do a Bugs Life 2. Like, there's a lot of sequels I want, and I feel like they should do, but I don't know. I'm still waiting for my Bugs Life 2. So comment down below, or let's just hashtag Bugs Life 2. Let's just get Pixar attention. Please make a Bugs Life 2. Um, I really want that to happen. But yeah. Um, when I think with that's the thing with, again, with the release date with Toy Story 5. I think they could again reuse the models of Toy Story 4, because they're still quite they're still really well modernized to today. I know they do improve the models, and Pixar does like to reuse access of previous films, of recent films. Like, that's why I think Lightyear 2 would be more likely a good idea to make a Lightyear 2, because you got basically it takes time to make these sets and pieces and animate these, like design these like backgrounds and models, but what they can just generally do is reuse what they have, or make these new characters, and it kind of fits to the time frame. I hope they do something really special with Toy Story in the 30th anniversary. But yeah, would I like to see a Incredibles 3? Of course, yeah. Like, I can see and the thing is, right, I really want to see a time jump with Incredibles. I do want to see the kids kind of growing up and dealing with their abilities as a being old and dealing with these superpowers. Because I think it'll be kind of interesting, their story focus between Dash and Violet. So I would love to see Incredibles 3, but I would like to see a time jump in that one. But yeah, Disney and Pixar Toy Story 5 story can be about toy collector stills, but this time for a Light collection. That's actually, no, I like the idea. I think that's like another owl, but the thing is, because the thing is with Buzz Lightyear toys, they have a lot of, maybe Buzz could generally be the original, because like again, when we look in real life, Buzz, like the 1995 Buzz, realistically is a very vintage toy now, and you know, I can see during this time jump, like I can see that where the kind of viable these days. I can see maybe this and these Buzz is like very very rare collectible, because they always manufacture the new Buzzes these days, and maybe they have like a slight difference, and original Buzz is sort of like it's all like Woody. He's now a whole vintage toy, and he's dealing with that. So I can actually see that. And then you can sort of bring the Starkman figures. Sorry, the Starkman toys. You can get like, and I've been. This is like one character or two characters I really want since Toy Story 3. Just give us XR or Booster, just a cameo, just an acknowledgement of these Buzz Lightyear figures are canon. I know the whole Lightyear thing, but I see Lightyear as its own entity. Like, if you look at like transmedia is sort of like different property. Like, it's illusion of different materials. Like Star Wars, you got the animated series, you got the films, you got the cartoons, you got the VR, the toys, everything. And I can see Lightyear. Well, Buzz Lightyear has that kind of similar aspect because it's about, there's so much content of Buzz in the Toy Story world. Like, there's the cartoon and there's the movie, and I think like again, Buzz Lightyear is sort of inspired by Star Wars, and yeah, like I don't. There's a thing where they could say, like, I think I was reading up some questions before where people are confused about Lightyears. Like, is it retconning Buzz Lightyear Star Command, or is Lightyear no longer Buzz Lightyear Star Command no longer part of the canon, and have they kind of retconned the tire? Is Buzz based on the toy? And I actually kind of see they're all part of the same canon, because I think Angus MacLean kind of addressed this, that treat Lightyear as like a holiday special, not holiday special. Treat Lightyear as like the Star Wars animated series. Treat Buzz Lightyear Star Command as the animated series. You got different properties. You got the fast food, because they're even still selling Buzz Lightyear, like the small fry short. They're still selling the Buzz Lightyear figures. It still must be a popular brand, and I feel like, again, they don't need to retcon. They can all include in this one continuity, because they're all separate between the toy. Whatever Buzz Light who does. Oh yeah, this is where they could go to Toy Story 5 if they wanted to. They can literally, if they want to, right, guys? They can go to the actual creator of who designed Buzz Lightyear. Like, maybe they can pretty much recycle the same storyline in they can pretty much recycle the same storyline in Toy Story 3's original storyline, where Buzz goes to Taiwan, and it goes to the manufacturing company, the warehouse of how he's been produced. And I really like that aspect, because I thought it was like a full circle from I thought that was a nice full circle to sort of Buzz's arc of him, from Toy Story 1, him finding out the Toy Story 2, him realizing he's he goes to Al's Toy Barn, and Toy Story 3, well, the original Toy Story 3, he goes to Taiwan, he goes to the actual factory. So maybe they could recycle some ideas. We don't know. I think it was the Circle 7? I can't remember the name on top of my head, but it was I can just imagine maybe Buzz goes to sort of like finds who designed him, and it's like, I know it sounds crazy. But yeah, that would be quite funny though. Him like meeting the creator Buzz Lightyear himself, and why he he could be a villain like Al, and it's all about money. I don't know. That would be really ridiculous. But yeah, that does sound quite funny. But yeah, I wouldn't. Would Buzz? This is a question. I don't think Buzz would be diluted like in Toy Story 3, 2 and 3. So, if they ever meet a dilute, I think they've done with that diluted Buzz. But I do kind of miss it. Don't get me wrong. Was my thoughts of Frozen 3 and Zootopia 2? Zootopia 2. Sorry, I pronounced it wrong. Again, I'm not a fan of Frozen. I've seen it, but I'm curious what the sequels can be. So yeah, well, But yeah, no, I am interesting, really. Um, I was so excited for Wreck-It Ralph 2 but I wasn't really thought it did well compared to the first one. But you know, they can do so much more now with the video game stuff. But I always thought Wreck-It Ralph was very similar to Toy Stories, like games, or like what's the world of the games and the world of the toys. So I kind of like that, because that's the thing. I did the question of. I think they already established in Toy Story. Oh god, it was the Toy Story Time I've Forgotten, and it's when they go basically. They were showing like because I think Bonnie's cousin was kind of obsessed with the video game, and Bonnie stopped playing toys for a bit, and then like the games is sort of like took it over. 'Cause, again, it's today's society. Like I see games taking over, like mobiles, tablets, everything. It's all taken over now. I see the kids playing less with toys, and I think again this could be one of the themes. They could sort of look at like how like people are not really into toys and what does a toy do, but again they kind of established that in the Christmas special, but I don't know, maybe they could revisit that theme. That's why I don't really want to see the story again. I want to focus on the adventure of Buzz and Woody. Location guys, like I think would be cool. I think we should make a trip back to Pizza Planet, or or Al's Toy Barn, or just some like familiar places we've been. I love the cameo of Dinoco in Toy Story 4, just for that split second of that. Maybe be so happy seeing that, but would it be so cool to sort of like revisit like some of the old characters, like places again, or even like seeing a cameo of Al, like we got in Toy Story Terror. What was your first reaction when they announced Toy Story 5 and what's happening? Is it being made? Again, I was surprised. I was very kind of like shocked with the announcement. A lot of these days when they announce films, you kind of like not sure if it's true, or you kind of tell it's fake. And again, I thought I saw like I was actually editing a video when the announcement, and I think a friend of mine just sent me a message, and I saw it, and I was like in my head like, oh god, it's fake. And then I clicked on it and it's like, huh, okay, it's not fake. And then pretty much like every single my news feed was just popping out Toy Story 5 or a new Toy Story installment, and it's just like, and I was happy. It was like, again, it made me so excited, and I'm not terrified at all. Again, I love these characters. I hope, I'm glad whatever Pixar, Disney do, hopefully, again, fingers crossed they do this right. We all know they're doing it for money, unfortunately, and I'm one of those suckers like to, just take my money, take my money. Take my money, I'll watch it. Doesn't matter, whatever, just seeing Woody and Buzz, and as long as it's Tim Allen, Tom Hanks, that's what will sell for me, because I love these toys, these characters as a kid, and I've waited Toy Story 3 for so long. I remember watching Toy Story 2 on VHS on the video, and I remember watching it, and I was like, I really want to see Toy Story 3, and I waited this 10 years gap, and a lot of people around me didn't really like Toy Story. They used to, as when I was a kid, but I never outgrown it. I carried on the passion, and then online happened. You get to meet more people like your interests, and it's interesting because you feel like in your whole life you feel like you're like the only one who I almost felt like I should have outgrown Toy Story, and I didn't really feel like, was I, everyone else outgrowing it? Should I join with them? But I never did, because again, I always had this kind of thing, like, I love seeing the characters, I love seeing them everywhere, and again, I hope if they do the story right, I'm not going to rage in the cinemas and it's like, you ruined my childhood. You know, Lightyear, again, I enjoyed Lightyear. There's stuff they could improve. I'm not going to go blind where I'm not trying to be one of those fans. I just love it because of the characters. There is stuff in the story I wish they... The original storyline, guys, was going to be so much good. I've seen some of the deleted scenes. Far better, like literally far better for the original idea. And I was so annoyed, like, why did they not do this? Like, this was perfect. This would have been a perfect Buzz Lightyear movie. Like, it was going to establish about Buzz's dad. You know, it's like, it felt like a right origin story, and then he just kind of took that out due to another film. They already, like, they don't want to get similarities, and that's the problem, because films, it's hard to do original films these days, because a lot of films do it, and a lot of what Hollywood does is recycle other films around. So, but yeah, you know, I would have feel like, and the thing is with Lightyear is, I don't even get a proper review. I still love the film, don't get me wrong. There's just so much stuff I would wish they changed, or, you know, but when I watched it, even though with the stuff I wish they could have done, I still think it's amazingly, just looks so beautiful. And it kind of makes me kind of forget all the things I want the film, because I just see Buzz in space, and the action package, just everything. It was like a roller coaster. It feels like along with doing the Martin Scorsese kind of thing with theme parks and rides and stuff, but again, it's just sort of bringing that back. Evil Buzz and Evil Woody, like Gadget, Evil Clone, Rubber Gadget from Disney, Inspector Gadget. I don't think, no. If that's for Toy Story 5, I hope not. I hope they don't do another duplicate Evil Buzz and Woody. But Toy Story 5, Lost Hat. If that's a title idea, I don't think they'll do a sub name of the title. It's not a bad idea, Lost Hat, but yeah, maybe that could be the working title. But yeah, no. But I think this film could definitely. Another thing, yeah. There's the thing. I think when Toy Story 4 was released, even I had questioned: are they going to stop the toy? Is they going to end this perfectly? And even like the marketing of Toy Story 4, they weren't shy saying they're not going to make any more. They could have said it back then, said no, this is the last one. And then and you can even watch some of the interviews right now, like you can even see the face of some of the producers saying, well, never say never, and this is what we're gonna get. And you know, I did kind of expect, I don't know, I had a feeling like it was kind of a gut feeling they could do a Toy Story 5, and then I know it's such a crazy way of thinking, like, well, why would you think that? It's just because a lot of the celebrities, like, you know, Tim Allen and the producers of Toy Story 4, it was sort of like kind of not, you know, they were kind of teasing the possibility, and then there was sort of this question. And even and this is another thing I kind of theorized back in the last couple of years, a year ago, because with Tim Allen, I think he did like a Disney Plus, he was in D23, and obviously everyone was disappointed about him not returning with Lightyear, because again, they should have cast Tim Allen as Buzz, and he did say he's not. Tim Allen knew, like, this is not a surprise. I think he's already been on board for a while, so he wasn't really allowed to say anything due to like an NDA, or, you know. But I feel like with Tim, he was sort of trying to, like, I think he was hinting at us there was going to be a fifth one. And now he can officially say it now, and I think that's going to be really cool. But yeah. What's the new movie opening going to look like? I think they normally do I think with every Toy Story, they always do this sort of realistic version of like the world of the toys, and I know they did that with 2, 3, and 4. No, they haven't done it for. Ah, yeah, my mind kind of jumped then. They've done it in 2 and 3. They have this sort of playtime and it's like this realistic kind of thing. But again, I think that's an interesting question there. I don't really know what could be the opening of Toy Story 5. You know, they could maybe do a scene with Woody and Buzz again back in Andy's, and but make similar to like Toy Story 4, you know, like how Woody was remembering Bo Peep, maybe Buzz is remembering Woody. And I feel like maybe, again, if they're going to do a direct sequel, I think they should establish Buzz is finding it hard to, like, you know, be in the room about Woody, you know. Woody kind of, I feel like those two fit so well together, you know, especially as equals. But maybe this is where the plot can come in. But please, 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 Pixar, make this focus on Buzz this time. Like, do not sideline him again. You know, and I understand with the whole Lightyear thing, but we need more Tim Allen Buzz. You know what, right? I think they could even do a cameo if they wanted to with someone watching a Buzz Lightyear Starkman intro theme, or incorporate that into a TV commercial. Like someone rewatching Buzz Lightyear Starkman, like just in the back, someone I think they could do a sneaky cameo if they wanted to. But yeah, what if Jesse and Buzz dated in the 5th movie and it makes sense? I don't really want to sort of always become this sort of romance. Like, I think we had the love story between Bo and Woody in 4. I think it should be more like an adventure movie with just Woody and Buzz. A bromance. But yeah. But yeah. Anyway, guys. I hope I'm going to close the video for now. Thank you for watching. I hope I've answered a few of your Q&As. If anyone, I'll give it another 2 minutes before I close, just if anyone want to ask me any more questions before I end the video. But yeah, no, I'm so excited. I can't wait for this, you know, when Toy Story 5, I hope it's close. I hope it's already been in development, so we don't have to wait so long. But yeah, no, I think I'm curious, you know, and I'll do hopefully some more videos about it. At the moment, I'm just been very busy with my university degree, so I'm just on my final year, but we're also trying to give you a lot of content as well in the channel, so I'm trying to keep stage, and once I've got my coursework finished, and I will hopefully, we've got a lot of some series ideas, a lot of announcements I want to announce, I can't announce yet. We are hopefully working on after Toy Story 2 live action, and it's Toy Story related, so stay tuned. There's going to be some really cool announcements. I wish they would give a film to Lee Unkrich. I think he would be a good director for this, you know, especially what he did with Coco, and I think Lee is a really good director. I don't know if he would be on board because, again, he didn't really got back on Toy Story 4. I think he was doing Coco at the time. I don't know if it was he didn't have time to do Toy Story 4, but yeah, no, honestly, I think that would be cool to have Lee, or maybe Andrew Stanton, or I don't know. Is he still a part of Pixar these days? I don't even know who's currently working there. And there's also these new directors as well. Toy Story 5, Miranova. Can we have a cameo of number 5? Booster and XL villain can be Warp XL Werewolf in the Toy Moodle. Sorry if I answered that right. I think I've been watching a bit of the Buzz Lightyear Starkman series the other day, and I was just saying to my friend, I was saying, would it be cool to have Warp or again, Booster or just like some of the Buzz Lightyear Starkman characters? But that I think I was saying that to be in Lightyear, But again, a cameo of any Buzz Lightyear related, they're gonna have to put a cameo of Socks though. I think they'll definitely desperately want to kind of include him to the Toy Story World to kind of make sense to, yeah, Socks is part of the Toy Story World, so you got that connection. But yeah. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching this live stream. Hopefully, some more series coming soon. Thank you. Please stay tuned. If you any Toy Story 2 live action questions, please just at the moment we're gonna try and make a new Facebook page. Any updates will be on the Instagram page, so you can check all the behind the scene photos. But yeah, so thank you guys. Thank you for watching or listening, but yeah, take care and see